Hello and welcome back to ERU, where we discuss the biggest talking points and results from around continental football. Joining me today, it's Mike McCubbs. How are you, McCubbs?
Very well, thank you, Diggs. How are you?
Yeah, no, good. I'm in a slightly strange surrounding, so before everyone thinks that I've broken lockdown, I've had to go from my girlfriend's house back to my house in London. But enough about my lockdown situation. Let's get into our winner of the day, which is Borussia Dortmund, at the suggestion of @ErlingHottyland78, McCubbs.
Yes, Erling Haaland's exceptional season continued as he scored both goals in Dortmund's 2-0 victory over RB Leipzig at the Red Bull Arena. The youngster now has 44 goals in 39 games this season, with 16 in 17 games for BVB since his €20 million move from RB Salzburg back in January. Now, only 5 players have scored more than his 13 Bully goals this season, and obviously he's only made 14 appearances in the league. Only 10 of those are starts as well, so pretty amazing stuff. He's averaging a goal every 75 minutes in the German top flight. Now, this victory wrapped up second place for Lucien Favre's men with 1 game remaining, so they will no doubt be happy about that. But despite, what have been at times some really exciting performances from the side this season, especially with the form of Haaland and Sancho, two of Europe's kind of preeminent superstars. There is still slight cause for concern. If they win their final game at home to Hoffenheim, they will finish on 72 points, which is actually 4 off their total from last term. So they'll probably have to look at some of that indifferent form towards the start of the season to see where they can improve. They dominated this game though, despite conceding 16 shots. Leipzig could only put 4 on target. Dortmund, on the other hand, only managed 11 shots, but 7 of those went on target. And that was reflected in the XG, 3.1 to 1 in Dortmund's favour. So dominated what has been, a very effective Leipzig side this season. And they will obviously have their own concerns going into the next campaign, with Timo Werner now confirmed as going to Chelsea. But yeah, for Dortmund, a perfect response to their 2-0 defeat at home to Mainz on Wednesday. But Doogie, what did you make of Leipzig's performance?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a pretty worrying defeat for them. And as you say, with Timo Werner leaving, things aren't actually looking that good for Leipzig. And their form since the resumption really hasn't been very good at all. So they've played 8, they've only won 3 of those. They've only lost 1, but 4 draws. And they've scored 17 and conceded 10, which is far more than their usual rate, Leipzig. So it's really been their defensive issues that have come to the fore. And their issue has really been the failure to beat the so-called lesser side. So they've drawn against Freiburg, Hertha Berlin, Paderborn, who are 18th, and 16th place Düsseldorf as well. So this calendar year, they've actually only won 6 of their 16 league matches with 8 draws and 2 defeats. And that has seen them drop from first place on the 1st of January, 2 points clear to 3rd, and they're now 16 points behind Bayern Munich with 1 game still to play. Luckily, with 1 game to go, which is away at Augsburg for them, Champions League football is sort of sewn up for them. So 5th place Bayer Leverkusen are only 3 points behind, but they have a minus 27 goal difference on Nagelsmann's side. So barring some sort of freak result for Bayer Leverkusen, Kai Havertz scoring 40, they've got Champions League football sewn up. The key performers in this game, Mats Hummels was magnificent. He went on this fantastic mazy dribble to set up Brandt, who then set up Reina, who then gave it to Haaland for the opener. And he had a great all-round 92. So he made 4 tackles and interceptions, won 1 aerial duel, completed 3 dribbles from a centre-back, and made 2 key passes too. And as I mentioned him there, Gio Reyna was absolutely magnificent in central midfield, playing alongside Witsel. I didn't actually realise he had that sort of versatility in his game. I thought he was more of a sort of number 10, sort of inside forward, but he's playing in midfield alongside Witsel here in Favre's 3-4-3. And he made 3 tackles, completed 4 dribbles, 1 key pass, which was that assist, a lovely little flick on for Haaland's opener. Man of the match, though, was Haaland. 1 tackle, 3 aerial duels won, 1 key pass, 6 shots, 2 goals, neither of them particularly difficult. But what a season for Haaland. And with the Golden Boy Award up for grabs at the end of the year, it looks like it will be between him and Sancho, because Mbappe, I believe, is now too old. So Haaland, what a fantastic season. And Dortmund, after a difficult result in midweek, wrapping up the season in style. Congratulations on 2nd place. But Leipzig, some serious work to do.
Moving on to our loser for the weekend, and this comes from @Yule_Leon. He's chosen Barcelona, Dukes.
Yeah, with good reason, because they stumbled in the La Liga title race for the first time since lockdown, drawing 0-0 at Sevilla on Friday. And following Real Madrid's 2-1 victory over Sociedad late last night, that means they now sit second on the table, level on points but behind on head-to-head record. Barcelona will feel aggrieved at Real's result, because not only did Real Sociedad's Januzaj have a goal ruled out because Mikel Merino was in an offside position, despite not interfering with play, but Benzema's goal, which proved to be the winner, appeared to strike the upper part of his arm. It really looked more arm than shoulder, but it was an incredibly tight call. And after an extensive VAR review, it was allowed to stand. So huge calls in the title race, and that's the sort of advantage that you feel like could make all the difference in this season between the El Clasico rivals, who are very evenly matched. But the Blaugrana will be disappointed. They only have themselves to blame. They came into this game on the back of routine wins over Mallorca and Leganés, while Sevilla needed a reaction after a disappointing 1-1 draw with Levante last Monday. But as the scoreline suggests, it wasn't a game to remember, with the hosts edging Barca on expected goals 0.82 to 0.74. Frustrating night for Leo Messi, actually, who started very well since the resumption, as he always does. Despite dominating the ball with 102 touches, second only to Basques, he created just one chance. And while he mustered 4 shots, all came from outside the box, with 3 of them free kicks. The Argentine maestro was actually incredibly lucky not to be punished for pushing Diego Carlos just before half-time. He was pretty frustrated by a challenge made by Diego Carlos, I think it was on Suarez, and Messi looked absolutely fuming. Just complete anger rippling through his body as he pushed Diego Carlos to the ground. Barca fans will be happy, though, to see Suarez back in the starting lineup, with under far Antoine Griezmann demoted to the bench. The Uruguayan made his first start since January. Obviously, there was a long injury layoff before lockdown, and was the Blaugrana's biggest threat, taking 5 shots, with 4 coming from inside the box. Barca's only real efforts of note. And McCubs for Sevilla, it was a familiar sort of source of their inspiration.
Yeah, no surprise at all. It was Lucas Ocampos, the Argentinian forward, who's been kind of instrumental to Sevilla's success this season. He's been their only real consistent goal threat this term, averaging a goal or assist every 154 minutes. And his 11 league strikes in 1920 is already a career best for him and ranks him among the top scorers in La Liga. But despite notching up 3 shots this game, the former Marseille man couldn't find the net. Jesus Navas also had a decent match, firing off a shot and creating 2 chances from right back. But perhaps the most important contribution actually came from centre-back Jules Koundé. He cleared a goal-bound Messi free kick in the first half, and it's gone down as a goal line clearance. I don't think it quite is, because he was in front of the keeper. Yeah, he was in front of the keeper, and the keeper was diving for it. But I don't think you could guarantee that the keeper was definitely going to save that. It looked like it could have maybe just averted his fingertips. So a potentially match-winning piece of defending there. And the 21-year-old who signed from Bordeaux last summer for €25 million, a big fee. He more than held his own in this game. Won 3 aerial duels, made 2 interceptions, made 5 clearances too, which I believe was the most on the pitch. So promising signs for the young Frenchman. The result means Sevilla dropped to 4th, 4 points ahead of Getafe in 5th, with Atletico Madrid leapfrogging them on goal difference after their 1-0 win over Valladolid on the weekend. Meanwhile, Barca have a huge 10 days ahead of them. They host Athletic Bilbao tomorrow night. Then they visit in-form Celta Vigo on Saturday. Obviously, they won 6-0 this weekend.
Yeah, what result?
Before welcoming Atleti to the Camp Nou next Wednesday, and what could be a real title decider. But can you see them slipping up again, people? Let us know in the comments, because the title race has just taken a new turn.
And now it's time for everyone's favourite section. It's Star of the Week, and this week it's Marcus Llorente at the suggestion of @SimSimmers Star McCubs.
Yes, I mean, Llorente's had an absolutely superb week. Firstly, he played a starring role in Atletico Madrid's 5-0 victory away at Osasuna last Wednesday. Obviously, those goals have kind of been pivotal, actually, in them, and then jumping to 3rd place on goal difference. Really kind of set them ahead of Sevilla. But as for Llorente, he didn't even appear till the 63rd minute mark. Came on for Correa, who's obviously also been are very instrumental for Atleti this season. The score was just 2-0 at that point, and playing on the right wing and drifting inside centrally, Llorente completed 3 tackles and interceptions, 2 dribbles, 2 key passes, and fired off a shot. And was incredibly clinical. That led to 2 assists and a goal in 27 minutes of action. So an amazing cameo from him on Wednesday night. And obviously that earned him a starting place on Saturday against Valladolid. And he also had a very solid game. 1 tackle, 3 dribbles, 2 key passes, and 2 shots. As Atleti came through 1-0 with that Vitolo goal. It's been quite an amazing kind of turnaround for Llorente, who was such a bit part player earlier in the season, wasn't he, Doogie? What's happened the last few months?
Well, he just seems like he's really taken a lot of confidence from some performances. So as you say, he initially struggled to break into the team following his £27 million move from Real Madrid. There was obviously a lot of controversy that went with that move. When anyone moves between city rivals, it obviously goes down pretty badly with their original fan base. And he only once played more than 45 minutes before the start of February. Since then, though, he's made 10 appearances, completing the full 90 on 4 occasions, and has had some massive performances. Not least away at Anfield, which seems like, well, it was months ago now, but years ago now, where he scored twice and provided an assist. And his good form has been key to Atleti rising to 3rd in the table, above Sevilla on goal difference, and now 4 points clear of 5th place Getafe. So, as we predicted before La Liga returned, it seemed like Atleti, with the sort of superior squad and superior standard of players, would eventually rise to the top and see off a pretty good Sevilla side this season, and a Getafe side that have definitely brought something new to La Liga, but may not have the quality to last the course in a Champions League race. So full credit to Marcus Llorente, full credit to João Felix as well, who had an awesome game versus Osasuna. And we at EFD are pretty excited to see what Atleti can do for the rest of the season. But guys, that is all we've got time for on ERU for this week. Please let us know what you guys made of Haaland's performance, Bayern Munich romping to another league title, the La Liga title race, Marcus Llorente, all of that and more in the comment section down below. And what should they go and do now, McCubs?
Well, why not go and check out the latest episode of the Football Pyramid? I believe it was between Zach and Joe. Slightly controversial episode, I've heard. But yeah, go and check out all the Football Pyramids. It's a great series. Go over to FD and check out everything you need to know if you haven't already. One of the new series over there. And stay tuned for the Football Social, which is back with a bang. We had 2 great episodes on the weekend, didn't we? Were you covering the Liverpool-Everton game?
I did the Man City-Arsenal one last week and got bullied by Julian Lescott, which is always good fun.
Oh, yeah,
and then Jose Enrique's dog took a piss on his carpet yesterday. So, yeah, it's all kicking off on the Football Social. McCubs is totally right. Go check out all of them, and the highlights of them are on Twitter, of course. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.